And I'm here today to bring you an excerpt from Yogananda's uh, original teachings as written by Swami Kriyananda in his autobiography, The New Path, in the sections where he talks about his life of living with Yogananda. And so, excuse me one moment, I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay. I promised you on Wednesday that I would be sharing with you Yogananda's way of celebrating Christmas with the Christmas meditation and with some special activities during that time. So I'm going to be reading a little bit more than usual, but please bear with me. On the 24th, we gathered in the chapel at 10 in the morning for the all-day meditation to invite the infinite Christ to be born anew in the mangers of our hearts. I don't know how many have approached their first experience of this long meditation without trepidation. Few, I suspect, and among them certainly not I. We took our seats, Master at the front of the room facing us. The doors were closed. From that moment on, save for a short break in the middle, no one was supposed to enter or leave the room except in case of emergency. We began with a prayer to Jesus Christ and the other masters to bless us on this holy occasion. There followed some 15 or 20 minutes of chanting. One chant we sang that day was Cloud-Colored Christ, come. O my Christ, O my Christ, Jesus Christ, come. I found it marvelously effective for taking me deep into meditation. Periods of chanting alternated with increasingly longer periods of meditation. Sometimes, to alleviate any physical tension we might be feeling, Master asked us to stand as we chanted. For some of the more rhythmic chants, he had us clap our hands. A couple of times he requested Jane Brush to play devotionally inspired pieces on the organ. At some time during the afternoon, Master had a vision of the Divine Mother. In an ecstatic state, he related her wishes to many of those present. Some he told to give themselves unreservedly to God. Others he informed that the Cosmic Mother had blessed them especially. And then he spoke to her directly, out loud, so that we might hear one side at least of this blissful communion. Oh, you're so beautiful, he repeated over and over. Don't go, he cried. You say the material desires of these people are driving you away? Oh, come back. Please don't go. The meditation that day was so deep that the customary 10 minutes recess halfway through it was omitted. The apprehension I had felt at the onset proved a delusion. The soul loves to meditate, Master told us. It is the ego in its attachment to body consciousness that resists entering the vastness within. Well, I don't know how much more encouragement than that he could have given us for enjoying the beautiful Christmas meditation, the all-day meditation, as we like to call it, meaning not 24 hours, but just 8 hours, just 8 hours of meditating and going within before we enter into the outer and more social aspects of Christmas with spiritual family, with biological family, and with friends. In the early years at Ananda, Swami Kriyananda encouraged us strongly to consider our real family to be God and the lineage of gurus that Yogananda specifically brought. But whatever your spiritual path might be, if it's not Yogananda's, then make sure you spend some time, if you can, in this holy season especially, praying and meditating with those whose path you do share. There is a tremendous power, as Jesus Christ said, where two or more are gathered in my name, there I will be. In other words, there is a power when we come together in satsang, in fellowship, especially in meditation, in the silence, in the stillness of meditation. Deeper bonds form than any biological bonds can ever be, unless we're blessed to have biological family who also meditate with us. There is a fusion of our soul natures that comes together, supporting one another in our meditation, in our practices, in our devotion, especially to God and Guru. There is a tendency that we have, especially in the West, where Christmas is celebrated in such an outward manner, it can be exhausting for most, to forget about the inner life. I know when our children were young and we were raising them at Ananda Village, on Christmas morning there would be such excitement, and we'd come to the Christmas tree ready to dive in and open presents. But Riemann and I, my husband and I, would pause, put the whole scene on pause for just a moment and offer a prayer of gratitude and healing prayers for those in this world who were not as blessed as we are in that moment to receive these gifts. And I think, generally speaking, both of our children had calmer natures, and it really suited them to just sort of stop and pause and appreciate for a moment some stillness before entering into this outer activity of gift exchange. And so for all of us, I know I really enjoyed, we exchanged some gifts with our grandchildren a few weeks ago. Similarly, doing that when we were at Ananda Village with them. And I think everyone, children also, can appreciate just a moment of stillness, just a moment of interconnectedness and love and appreciation and expression of gratitude that goes beyond what we're accustomed to in the day-to-day life. So I hope you can take some moments. I hope you can join us for the Christmas meditation tomorrow. Just go to our homepage, anandawashington.org, and click on the link for the Christmas meditation. I hope you can make a day of it with the rest of us as we're leading this online Christmas meditation, so you can join us from anywhere for part or for all. Think about Yogananda in those early days, as Kriyananda said, the trepidation with which he entered that room as a young man, knowing that he was not supposed to leave except for an emergency, and consider what joy comes when we really spend a full day dedicated to God, or as much of the day as you are able. Joy to you, and happy Christmas as we go into this coming week. Hope you can join us also on Sunday for the special Christmas pageantry service at 10 o'clock. Bye-bye now. See you next week or tomorrow.